Dude, we're just messing around on HackTheBox with a box we already broke. Now we're just kind of playing around, learning. I want to do more with NMap. I gotta learn more NMap stuff. I am not a pen tester, but I am a network and system administrator as well as an IT trainer. I also lead a department of teachers of IT, but I'm trying to add more cybersecurity to my skill set. I'm good. I think I'm pretty good with the network administration, system administration stuff, like, administering Windows, using your Active Directory, PowerShell occasionally, and, your domain controllers and stuff, and that type of user setting. Then the network switches and routers, I can manage those. I'm pretty familiar with Cisco iOS. But one thing I'm two things I haven't really been that good at is like Linux and Linux administration, of course, and like ethical hacking, penetration testing stuff like we're doing here. And I just love it as a learning experience. It's fun. So we were just looking at different commands to try out. So we could do the -- top ports, top 20 ports, I guess. So we could do it top. What is it? Were they together? Top dash ports. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I love them. They're awesome. Both of the sites, TryHackMe and HackTheBox. Oh, that's... NMap-A. Is it NMap-A-T4? Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with VI. Like, if we could do, or Vim, we could VI. I don't know. Hello stream, and then I'll write in Markdown. We could do what's up, everyone out there on the interwebs. How's life? Good? Bad? Both? And then you hit that. And I'm in the browser, so my escape is gonna do some crazy stuff. So I'm gonna hit the colon W to write to the file, okay? And then we hit the colon Q and we exit out. But when I hit escape, my escape key takes me out of the browser, which I guess I could change that. You said a good man. Yes. Thank you. What else? I did a little bit with Ansible, with the run books written in YAML. Those are so cool. I guess if we could do scans that connect to like vulnerability, that would be kind of cool. I'm gonna try this scan. Maybe I should browse in here. I think you could connect the clipboard from your base to this. Control, copy. No, you can't. I think, but there's a way to enable that. Here it is. Look at this. So, paste, enter. Text box serves as a middleman for the clipboard of the instance for browsers that do not support clipboard access. Anything you copy within the instance will be shown to the text box, so you can copy it to your system, vice versa. Paste, people. I want to paste. What if I told you I wanted to paste? Ah, yes. I paste. It's real fun. Oh, okay, I think I get it. Then you, oh, yeah, it's like, and then you can paste. That's interesting. That's really cool. So this is just learning on the fly. So I think any of y'all could do it. We all do it probably. You're on stream right now. You're on Twitch trying to learn something. You're learning right now. So don't ever let a place tell you you're not any worth. You're less worthy than someone with more credentials than you. Somebody that has more pieces of paper than you got. You got to make sure you're following people. You're following what you're called to, and you're learning that way, right? Let that direct your learning. You know, you're going to come across mentors and teachers that are going to help you. They're going to like steer you and say, hey, look, you got potential. You need to go in that direction. And then some of them, they're going to tell you like, hey, you need to stop doing that. You know, they're going to have a strong presence in your life, but they're going to be helpful for you. But ultimately, it's going to be up to you. Your learning is yours, right? Don't ever give anyone else credit for that. And I would also try not to blame anybody else for how far you're getting, or how you, because there's some people that they have this mindset that they would have been further in life had it not been for some boss they had. And I thought like that for some time. I thought that there was somebody I worked with that held me back. And you know, it's really up to us to, you know, break through that. Even if it is, because I'm not gonna lie to you here, there's people out there that they don't, like we talked about this earlier, they don't really want to see you shine, but you better shine anyways. Because then the ones that they're with you and they have their own gifts, they're not jealous because they have their own unique, you know, ness. They don't have to get mad at yours, right? And you don't have to get mad at theirs because they're who they are. You're never gonna be the person you're admiring. You know, like there will never be another Steve Jobs. So for people to stay like the next Steve Jobs, or there's never going to be another Elon Musk. But I'm not saying someone won't do more or greater things one day. I'm just saying that he's Elon Musk. He's himself. That's part of why you love him. So, you know, part of why people love you is who you are, right? Yeah, there's always going to be someone who's, I think, just upset with where they are in life, or feel like you might be a threat to them. You know, when in reality, you could just work together. Like, there's the other option. Why not just work together to accomplish the goal and not, you know, be mean? But it's going to happen. We're going to have those competitive. You know, but I'm not thinking even competitiveness is a bad thing. It's not. Competitiveness is a good thing, right? So, it's funny that this scan, what scan did I run before? Yeah. There's a lot of types of scans you can run with NMap. Yeah. Yeah, what if we just did the default? That's one thing I haven't tried. Like just, hey, scan them. Because it doesn't give us much back. Oops. Underscore. Somebody out there's like, dude, this guy is slow in the command line interface, man. He's like, you're trying to get in my face because I'm slow in the interface. Okay. Sorry, I could be a little corny. I just became a dad, so I got a lot of dad jokes tucked away. Like, here's one. Why did the turtle cross the road? To get to the Shell station. So that, that's a dad joke. Fresh out of the dad joke oven. I'm fully stepping into my dadness. You got to do it. Thanks, I appreciate that a lot. I do. Oh yeah, maybe we're not doing no sudo stuff, or suad, or whoever suad is. I don't know who that is. It's sudo. Sometimes I just, I should have had a coffee. Oh, here we go. We got some information. Okay. All right. So, finally we have arrived at some useful output. I haven't been doing sudo. For those of you that don't know what sudo is, it's super user do. You're running any command after it as a super user or a root, which is the highest level of the file system and in the privilege structure of Linux file system. Right, is root, or is the Linux system. And then after that, we put a -o, which helps us with OS detection. What's the percentage of, what's the likelihood that this is a certain operating system? Looks like 91% Microsoft Server. And, so we can say that this target, Jerry, is what the name of the machine is, probably a Windows Server 2012 box. So what we also found, and we've done this before for the record, it was a longer version. This is just a shorter version. We looked at the version. That doesn't help us too much. It's good to know it's Windows, so we could expect, and we need to know a little bit about Windows to get around. But then, then we get a little bit better information here. So when you see ports, when you do an NMap scan, ports are like identifiers for applications. So if the IP address is the identifier for the computer on the network, which was 10.10.10.95 here, I'll show you. I'm pointing at it like you can see where I'm pointing. You can, I guess, but it's up there. 10.10.10.95 is the location of this computer on the network. But then the ports, this is any application that is network aware has a logical identifier called a port associated with it. And it's an arbitrary number, but most of them have most applications have well-registered ports that are going to be like 80. For example, like HTTP, the protocol is 80. The port is 80 by default, but you can change that number. But most don't do that. They don't change ports and stuff. Now that's one of the things people have tried to kind of like hide their services and prevent from just automated services running on the network. Like, could you imagine like malware that wants to make a connection with a web server? It's probably going to aim at, I don't know, port 80. But if it's not port 80, then that malware is not going to be able to run. The script won't be able to run properly. So you could do things like that, but it's not like truly secure. It's just kind of more obscure. You're making things harder for the you're making it more of a puzzle. So 8080 is the way we get to this system. So when we have documentation on this already because we've gathered some information, and I'll show you how we've gathered that information. I'm trying to not just shortcut the process. So we can, using the browser, we can go to, these are some smooth vibes right here. And 10.10.10.95. You can't get there without doing a colon 8080, because right now the browser already put this at the end. It already did that. Because if you double click, notice what protocol is being used in the browser. It shows right here, http:// That's the path to that location. And HTTP is the protocol being used. You can use FTP as well. Like, you can use it in the browser. You could do FTP:// the IP address. But here we want to add on the end 8080 because that's the port we saw in NMap. And sure enough, let's see if that just Googled something. Right? How do we get it to take us? Oops, I typed it too many times. What's wrong with me? So 80. There we go. So then it takes us there. So this is where we discover, hey, this is Tomcat 7088, and that's definitely, documentation worthy. You take screenshots of that, and there you go. We've already done that in Cherry Tree, but after that, you wanna find, and you wanna click around, and you wanna see, like, hit configuration and see if it gives you any information, right? Oh wow. So somebody's talking about Nas in the chat. By the way, I am a big hip hop head. So if we want to talk hip hop, we can do that too. As we hack and stuff. So I forgot where we went, but let's find it. So we click around. Where are some areas that could give us good information? How about Tomcat setup? Windows. Yeah. My favorite hip hop album of all time is Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick Lamar. That's my Illmatic. That's my Illmatic. So this isn't giving us much. This is documentation. Oop. Manage web app. There's an area here we can go to that'll give us some information. What if I just hit OK? Cancel. Okay. So when we try to log in and we hit cancel, it says 401 unauthorized, but then it gives us some details. So somewhere in here, look at this. For example, so when it gives us an example, it says, for example, to add the admin GUI role to a user named Tomcat with a password of secret, add the following to the config listed above. So this is basically the username and password it's giving us, and it gave itself away, right? The username and password. So that's something we can use. So when we go back here, we go to host manager. We may have to get another browser session. So do Tomcat here, right? And then secret. And then you log in, and you just logged in using some admin credentials. Oh yeah. Yes, it is. Sing About Me. So Money Trees is a great song, but Sing About Me When I'm Dying, that's like a poetic rap song. One of the most poetic songs I've ever heard. Just the way that Kendrick Lamar weaves together storylines from different characters in his story is just, it's genius. It's a genius thing. Like, you know when you know genius, you listen to it or you see it, you're like, wow. So we can go back to the manager. Let's go back to the manager since we're in as admin right now. Yeah. And this is where we need to create a directory. So we know that this is there's a vulnerability in Apache Tomcat, and in this version we found that out. And the vulnerability, we can actually use a reverse shell to get on the system by using this MSFVenom command that lets us create a reverse shell. But first we gotta create a directory. So I think we gotta do like a backdoor and then deploy. I don't know. How do you create a directory in here? You may just be uploading it this way. Like we'll do a browse and deploy. Alright, so let's go find my documentation. So good documentation is great because then you don't have to remember everything. It's good to memorize stuff though, don't get me wrong. So this is one of the commands. Copy. Let's put it in the clipboard here. This is where we could do our script, honestly. This was kind of like an accidental find here. So this is how you generate this script, but what we need to do is we need to generate it based off of the device we're connecting from. So we need to generate it, do copy, generate it based off of the IP address of this system, which should be 10.10.14.2, I think. So let's just look. You can do IP add, right? Yeah. 10.10.10.14.2. So I'm using this application in Kali called Cherry Tree, but anything that you prefer. I don't have a specific preference. One of the things I learned from RWX Rob is you should have your own learning notes, right? You should keep track of your learning notes, and you maybe you want to make them in your website, like you create your own blog site and just keep them up there, right? Make sure you're not giving away anything that's like your username and password to your bank account, but like, what you learned that day, right? Like on Friday, we took stream notes at my website, which is bob.ltneighbor.net, but that's just my blog up there. So, and then we have the terminal. All right, paste. But this time we gotta. So the local host, when you're coming up with a reverse shell, you got to remember that you are the local host. That's what L is at 14.2. And I do like that it gives me my IP right there in the prompt. And then the port number at 449.
Yep.
It's going to be called Backdoor War. And it generates it. So it's creating that file now that we would upload to the this server. So we would do clear.
Yep.
And then there's, let's look at it. What is backdoor? Zipped up. So what we could do is then on the server, since we already have access, we can browse. You drop the it's not at home, it's at the root. There we go. I think. Or is it home? It might be right in home. Yeah, there it is. And then you deploy it. And then there's backdoor. So backdoor is uploaded to the file server because we had the permissions to do it. And then next, what you need to do is, let's see if I can remember it without looking. You need to start a netcat session. Netcat, you have to do and netcat dash lvnp and then the port. I forgot what the port was. Anybody remember? It was whatever that default command had it as. 449. So we do 4. I think it's at 400. 4449. Yeah, 3 4s and a 9. And then enter. So it starts listening. Netcat is a listener, and it's, let's see if it'll listen. There we go. It's listening now. So what we do next is we actually will execute that file. So we'll go backdoor, and when we run that, it actually should have told the system, the web server, to try to establish a session with our ParrotOS here. So, and look, there we go. We're on the system. So that's how you get into Jerry. I'm going to try to make that cleaner. I'll do some editing and put this up on YouTube as well. But this is how you get into Jerry. This is the danger of, leaving old systems in place, not doing updates. But HackTheBox kind of showed this older vulnerability that may actually be out there in the wild still, since some people just really don't care about security. They just want to save money. They really don't care about computers. They know they need them, and that they know they just need them to work, but they're not really worried about upgrading them. And so I would imagine that maybe that this is out there somewhere, right? In some industry, this is a real thing. So from here, of course, you would dir, which you're on a Windows system now, and then you would look around, like I'm browsing. What's going on around here? Let me check. Oh, what's in users? Ooh, and then dir, and then there you go. And you'd find your flags, right? So you go to administrator. Dir. Yeah, you're gonna find, let's go to the desktop, right? Flags, right? We don't need to go in there, right? But that's Jerry